Welcome to Mega Talk. We're still the talk show in boxing. So we have a special guest here today. It's somebody that usually gives a lot of comments and sends in their voice recording. We got the one and only Ski here with us today. So welcome to Mega Talk. Today it's Glenn who's going to be interviewing Ski. He's directly here in the studio here today. And honestly, it's great to have him here. We've tried to get him here in the past, but he's here right now. I know you haven't got much time, so we're just going to get into it. So my first question really is, what is it that got you into boxing from the start? Because you're a big fan. What is it? Take me right back.
First of all, hello everybody on Mega Talk. Nice to meet you, Mega G, in person. We always have good conversations over boxing. Well, I got into boxing from an early age, from the 80s, 70s, late 70s, 80s, seeing all the big fighters like Muhammad Ali, Sugar Ray Leonard, the great classics like Benn, Eubanks, still fights like that. So my interest really took more of an interest when Mike Tyson come, because he's about my age, and I was like, wow, the youngest ever heavyweight champion, and I've always been interested from them days.
You know what's funny is because I remember when we was kids ourselves, we used to sit down and watch Muhammad Ali films. Do you remember? I mean, we used to sit down and watch Muhammad Ali fights.
I used to come to your house and watch Muhammad Ali in your front room.
It was really, really good. Yeah, just to set the scene, there was like probably 10 or so of us sitting down watching Muhammad Ali, watching the great man himself, exhibition, his boxing skills. That's the way that I can really see it. And from there, that's what we always used to do. It was like a family occasion where we just sat down and watched boxing. So from there, you says that you went on to be watching the likes of Iron Mike Tyson and Nigel Benn and Eubank and
and it's just grown from there. So boxing has always been a part of one of my hobbies. It was one of my main sports, football and boxing. So I'm looking forward to this.
It's good. What I really want to do is just give you some time to just talk about boxing today, in particular the fights which have recently happened and the fights which are going to be coming up. Just to see what you really think about it, because like me and you, we have discussions about this. But I think my first question is: do you think that the boxers of today meet up to the same standards of boxers of yesteryear?
I would say 10 years ago or 15 years ago, probably not. But I think now the boxing is getting in a better place than it has been in the last 10 years in terms of heavyweights, and now the new bantamweights. It used to be super middleweights, 90s, late 2000s, but now the heavyweights coming back in. I'm liking it, and you've got some good women fighters as well. So I think boxing's in a good state, and this year has been one of the best. These last 2 years have been one of the best for boxing, because the best have been fighting the best, which we haven't been getting for a long time.
Yeah, I've totally got to agree, and I don't want to deviate, but this is going to be a little bit cliched because a lot of people say the same thing about the state of the heavyweight boxing, in particular, the best not fighting the best. They always use Tyson Fury as an example. Who do you actually want to see Tyson Fury fight?
Well, Tyson Fury is a bit of a cash cow, but who can I say? I want to see, in my heart and hearts, I want AJ to beat Tyson. Well, I don't think it's going to happen. I think he's got the right hand for Tyson, but he hasn't got the boxing skills or the chin. First of all, I want to see Deontay versus AJ.
Yeah.
And then I want to see the winner of that take on Usyk. And then after that, they can have the Fury. That's my main. Oh, there's a few heavyweights up and coming, but I don't think they've proved themselves enough yet. But them are the main three I want to see.
Okay, so what do you think the main reason is why Tyson Fury and Usyk fight hasn't happened? Because we're talking about undisputed here. We're not just talking unified. We're talking for all the belts. Why do you think that fight hasn't happened in your heart of hearts?
I think because Tyson is living up to his stereotype of being a loose cannon. He knows he might have trouble with Usyk, so I think he's using his social media and going off piece. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like fighting stupid fights instead of fighting real unify. He should unify and then retire, but he knows he's gonna get trouble with him, so I think it's kind of ducking him.
Do you think then that the size of Usyk is going to be a problem because he's much shorter and it's going to be harder for him to get his range?
Yep.
Steve Cunningham syndrome.
Yeah, 100% because he won't be able to lean on him and he won't be able to tie him up because Usyk's got good footwork and he's got good head movements as well. But not saying he's not unbeatable because I've never been in a Usyk fan, but he's always proving me wrong.
Yeah. I hear you. Okay, then. So, what first of all, did you watch the Joe Joyce versus the Zile Zhang on Saturday? And just before you answer that one, did you see the result going the way that it did?
Well, I think I watched both fights and I did have a I didn't really think the second fight. Most people thought he was going to justify himself from the first fight, but I think he ended up even worse because he didn't really learn enough. Yes, he put his foot on the left, tried to get his left foot outside of his left foot and circle to the left, but that's all he had.
Yeah.
He didn't have no head movement, no. He just got beat. He got beaten the 3 rounds. If he never got knocked out, he still would have got beaten on points, and that's what I would have predicted anyway.
But okay, I don't know if you had listened to the last podcast that I'd done, but the weight to me was an issue. And the reason why I say this, if he was getting caught being 2 stone lighter, why would he put on 2 stone and 1 pound?
Because he was hoping on that haymaker. He's gonna put all his weight in that one punch or that one volley and try and take him out. But it backfired on him. I could see the improvements. I could see he tried to adjust, but I just don't think he's not ready. He's not ready for that level yet. I think he needs another 2-3 years. Then probably he can get back to it. But he needs a lot of fundamental training. And at his age, to start, to start your fundamental moves, break it down and start from fresh. It's going to be hard. But I think he needs to.
Well, as you says, he's 38 now. 38 is not the same as 18 to learn new skills. So if that's the way that he's going to go, I think that he's going to have a lot of trouble because I don't think he's going to get the time. And not only that, is he going to be ranked high enough really to then go for a world title?
I think this last match was his break or make. Make good what he done in the first fight, what he done wrong. He tried it and it didn't help. So don't know. There's always, you can never say never, but it's going to be hard for him because everybody's worked him out now. His chin is not that good and his lateral movement is pretty static. So you work him out like how Crawford works out his boxing game over, innit?
So all right then. So was you surprised to see a 1-punch knockout though? A 1-punch knockout.
I wasn't surprised because, as I always say with the heavyweights, I think any heavyweight in that fight right now, I'd say 7 out of 10 of them would have went down.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta have a superb chin, like we was talking about Muhammad Ali. You gotta have a chin like that. You could take accumulation of punches. Because what it was, he countered him with the left and then straight over the right with split second flush. So if a heavyweight catches you flush, you gotta have a chin, and you know what I mean. I could easily knock him and says anything, but I'm saying heavyweights, if they catch you properly, seven out of 10 of them boxes would have went down the same way. So that's the only
Yeah, I hear you.
so the kind of thing I could say. Wow, you know, it was unfortunate, but he would say you could see it coming.
Okay, then. So back to the weight again. Should Joe Joyce have put on 25 pounds, 2 stone 1 pound?
Yeah, that was a hindrance, but I think, as I said, he was hedging his bets. I reckon Zhang should have been lighter, and Joyce, he's trying his movement, and I think he put on the weight to take him out. He's gonna make him use up all his punches in about 6-7, try and take him out like he tried to do it before, but it just didn't happen.
Okay, I hear you. So, Zhang, I wasn't surprised to hear that he's called out Tyson Fury. Can you see that fight happening then? Because how Tyson Fury's moving at the moment, I can't predict where he's going to go from one day to the next. And in fact, after that, could you tell me, do you think Tyson knows who he's going to fight next?
I don't think he knows who he's going to fight, but if the price is right, see, with boxing, it's all about money at the end of the day as well. So if he can secure a 50 or something, he's not going to say no.
Yeah.
But if it's an average price, he's going to make an excuse, isn't he? It's all about them, what can I say now? Like catch weight fights, isn't it?
Yeah.
And is it there's the honor in the boxing's kind of going now because people usually fight for the belt. Obviously, they need money, but I think Tyson Fury's got his social media thing, living with the Tysons and all that, you know, and so he's gonna look for the quickest buck, and I think Usyk and Zhang is gonna be too much hard work for the payday. What he's looking for.
Okay. Okay, then. So I think it's safe to say we don't know if that fight is actually. But one thing, what is really interested with that one because
I think it's a good fight actually because the both of them, the body size and the way they're both good boxers. It would be a very good match actually, and I do think Tyson would beat him. Yeah, because if Tyson concentrates, I have to give it him. He can box, so I could see him outboxing Zhang. He's got the skill for Zhang, but does he want to work hard? Does he want to train for it? I don't think he does.
But that brings me to the point though that breaking into the Chinese market, it was rumored that over 330 million
or more
watched the first fight. So how many watched this fight?
Probably more, to be fair, because once you've got a champion from that side of the world, you know, they've become overnight stars. You get me? So I think the money would be good.
Yeah.
The money would be good, but does Tyson want the hassle?
Yeah. Good point. Good point. Which leads me on to Conor Benn. I've got to say, I can't speak about this fight because I didn't actually see it. I fell asleep, so I didn't see the fight. But we know that Conor Benn, he beat Rodolfo Orozco, I believe it's pronounced, by unanimous decision in America, Orlando. And we know all the controversy about the drugs and the anti-doping panel. To be honest, I don't know if you want to talk about that, but I'm fed up of hearing about that.
Until we know exactly from the testing board exactly what happened, you can't really say. But two of my favourite fighters, they're dads, you know, and the legacy is a bit tarnished. So I think he's got to work himself back from scratch. I honestly didn't see the fight myself, so I'll have to do some research. See, that goes to show me mixing a Conor Benn fight. That's how low he's gone down in my my books at the moment. But you know, we will see. But definitely want him to fight Mr. Eubanks. And I think it's going to be a closer fight because Ben thinks he's going to destroy Eubanks. But
Yeah.
I think Eubanks has got the experience now to just make Conor Benn just punch himself out.
Wow.
So that's a very controversial point.
That is a very controversial point, and the reason why I say that, look, because for the fight on Saturday, Conor had moved up a weight and he was throwing. As I says, I'm not watched the fight, but from what people have said, he was throwing a lot of punches with bad intent, and the damage, what we thought would have happened by win by a knockout, it didn't happen. And my thing is, Eubank is he's filled that weight. He's used to feeling those punches. And by the way, the guy who was fighting has come up 2 or 3 weights himself. It's rumored that he started off about 2.5 stone lighter, so that's 5 weights that he's come up. But I don't know. So my thing is, if he wasn't able to take that guy out, will he be able to take out Eubank?
You see, the Eubanks fight to me is a different animal. If it wasn't Eubanks and he was going to fight the same person at the same weight, I'd think it'd be trouble for Conor Benn. But you've got that added legacy because of the father, so it's going to be brought on a level. But me, I think Eubank should take him, to be fair, because he walks around more heavier, and he, has been in me, I think, better fights. Yeah. And his training regime now, even though he sacked my man.
Roy Jones.
Roy Jones, yeah. His other trainer is quite good. So I seen the improvement in him as well, and I think he's still got more to learn. Because we got some bad Americans, and so he's got to prove himself still. But I think him against Conor, I've got Eubanks, and when Eubanks used to fight, I was always a Eubanks. I think I was the only one who was always a Eubanks fan because of his greatest ever knockouts. Yeah.
Yes, I know exactly. Yes. But you see, you bring another thing up now, because was Roy Jones Jr. actually sacked? Or was it Roy Jones that walked away? There's so many stories. I mean, I don't know what the answer is, but it's rumored that he wouldn't listen.
Yeah, he wouldn't listen.
It was rumored that he wasn't willing to pay the money. I don't think we'll ever know. But obviously Malbach is in prison at the moment because of the gun allegation. But let's set that aside. Can Bomac actually teach Eubank anything new? Once again, looking at his age, any different to what Roy Jones Jr., in your opinion?
I think you can actually, You say you can't learn the old dog new tricks, but you can always you can come with a different perspective.
Okay.
And you can see it differently in your training. And the nutritional training is different from his dad's days. They're bringing in all them kind of things, you get me? They're not training with weights and bulk no more. It's all scientific. So I think Bomac is I think Bomac's a very good trainer, and the little time that I did him, I have seen the difference.
Okay.
So when I usually say you can't learn old dog new trick, but I could see a little improvement.
Okay. Oh wow, yeah. So because of time, we will move on. Which brings us to the big fight. What is going to be happening this Saturday at the T-Mobile Arena, Las Vegas, in the good old US of A, and it's C versus C, Canelo versus Charlo. Oh my days. What's your opinion on this fight? Do you think that this fight is going to be an exciting fight? Do you think that this fight is going to be hype? Or what's your opinion of just this fight in general? Are you happy?
I'm happy for this fight. I think it's a good fight. You got the cash cow, Canelo, versus the up and coming new lion. And the lion wants to take over. Yeah, you got what is it, Charlo? 35 1-1.
Yeah.
And you've got Canelo 59 2-2. So they both got great records. You get me? Yeah. And I am really looking forward to this fight. I think everybody's saying, running with the narrative that Charlo's done now and he's reached his peak. He's got a lot to prove as well, because Charlo's coming to take that bait. Yeah, okay, so they're both the same age. I think Charlo's just a little bit higher, a little bit taller, just got a slight bit more reach. But both of them box the same style, orthodox right hand. You get me? So it should be a very, very good fight. Charlo, he's gonna come with. He's just gonna come. I think Charlo's gonna try and take him out uh, by the 6. He's really gonna come out. He's gonna throw everything. He's gonna throw the kitchen sink and the gold fish pond at him. But I think Canelo's just gonna wait for that to happen and counter.
Yeah.
So I'm predicting a counter knockout or Canelo I think Canelo is going to catch him coming in. Okay. That's my prediction after the 6th. Or if it doesn't work, Canelo's just going to Charlo's just going to out-bomb him. But I don't really see that happen because he's got a great defense. You know, he's got that shoulder.
Yeah.
Mayweather kind of, you know. After you notice, after he never used to fight like that until he fought Money Mayweather.
Yeah.
And then he changed his style completely.
Yeah, absolutely.
He used his shoulder and rolled, so he's gonna have to bring that.
Okay. The one thing with this is that even though Charlo is the one that's coming up in weight, he's actually the bigger fighter. I mean, you mentioned the height differential between them. One's 5'11" and one's 5'9", is it? Yeah, something like that. Yeah, Canelo's actually 5'9". Charlo is 5'11", but it makes you wonder how he's the smaller fighter. And to be honest, I think that he's more naturally that weight, because look how many weight divisions Canelo has come up, and you know, on Saturday they are fighting for the undisputed.
It's going to be a great fight. It's going to be a great fight. The only thing I can see Canelo's nearly double the amount of fights Charlo's had. So people be saying he's got a bit of, you know, he's coming to the end of his career at the moment. But I think this one is going to be, you know, it's going to be like, it could be end up into a trilogy. You know what I mean? It could be a trilogy. I can see this really, really kicking off. Canelo's going to beat him, counter, but he was losing on points. So there's got to be a rematch.
Wow, brilliant. And I think my last point on this one here, I'm going to just ask you, do you think he's fighting the right Charlo? Because the other brother is actually unbeaten. Do you think that Canelo saw a little chink in this Charlo and he thought, yes, I'll fight him rather than fighting the other brother? Do you think that Jermell was the easier choice for him? Or do you think Jermall...
I think you're correct. It's a bit of both, though. But he's gonna pick the other brother because he thinks. I'll keep on getting their names mixed up.
This one's Jermell, the other one's Jermall.
Jermall is more dangerous in my eyes, 100%. And why would he pick him? Why, you know, I would pick the easier fight. I don't care. At this stage, anyway. But I was a bit shocked actually because I thought Canelo was way older than Charlo. That's another point you got to look at. I thought he was. Like people are saying, like Canelo is over the hill, but they're both the same age. And him stepping up in weight means he's not cutting, so that could be all right for him. If Canelo's got a cut. What's it walking weight now? I forgot what his walking weight is. Canelo's walking weight.
Canelo, well,
it's gone up.
I think that's, you know something. I think that's an interesting question because the amount of weights that he's gone up. I mean, he went up to light heavy. This one is going to be fighting at super middle. I don't know.
12-6, isn't it?
Yeah, he's going to be walking around. I don't know. He's probably going in there fighting the weight that he walks around on. Not too far from it. I'm not too sure.
That's the only thing. If Charlo's got a cut, if he's cutting bad, because when's the pre? You see what I don't like now, Mega. We've been having a lot of weigh-ins, and I'm not showing the live weigh-in.
Yeah,
I think that's really stupid, because you can see the condition of the boxer. You can see him walking around. I wanted to see that. I'm going off piece now against the Crawford and Spence.
I can't remember if they showed it.
They showed it, but they didn't show it live.
Okay.
You get me? They showed it like afterwards. You get me? And then they showed the press conference. If you got to see them having the weigh. You don't have the weigh-ins like they used to have the weigh-ins. You get me?
Because the weigh-ins used to 2 days.
Yeah, 2 days, and then you get me. You have a weigh-in at 12 stone. You could come in at 12, 13 and a half stone. After a week, and you could just pile it all on. I don't like the new weigh-ins. And I like to see the live weigh-ins as well, not recorded.
To be honest, I don't remember if it was shown live, because obviously there's a time difference between America and over here. That's one I will look into. I don't want to say. I see so many fights each week. I can't remember.
In mind what this weigh-in. You got to bear in mind. Look at Canelo and see if he's been cutting hard. If he's been cutting hard, then I might change my prediction, because I think Charlo's coming in hard. He's coming in very, very hard. He's not a bit. I don't think he's gonna come in and look for points for the first. He's just gonna come and try and take him out. And then after round 6, I think Canelo would start showing his pedigree, and because it's a double the amount of fights. So I think if he can weather that storm.
So I know we are finishing off here, but does this mean that, are you like me? You like to see the weigh-ins, and then from there you can make a stronger decision of who's gonna, because cutting weight, who's middleweight easy, who's tight.
It makes a big difference in the fighting, especially if you got to fight after your weigh-in. You got to fight the next 2 days.
Okay, then listen. Thank you, Ski, for coming in today. I'm hoping that it's not just going to be the first and the last one, because you sent me a lot of comments and like voice notes and whatever like that. So I'm hoping that you'll come into the studio again. It's nice for you to be here today, because I value your opinion a lot, So thank you for coming in. I just want to say, is there anything really what you want to say before you leave, to do regarding a boxer, regarding whatever to do with boxing?
The boxing's in a good place at the moment. I think we need one more main promotional, one more channel. Because the Zone, and you've got BT, what's changed to TNT. If we have one more channel like that, then I think it will spread the boxing more, and then there'll be more competition to give them prices. One more thing I want to say, big up Mega Talk. I want everybody who's listening to this podcast to press that bell button and subscribe. It only takes you 1 second. It doesn't cost you nothing. And let's keep the boxing going, and let's keep the hype up. And I think this weekend is going to be absolutely brilliant. Yep, so respect to everybody.
Thank you for listening to Mega Talk. Thank you, Ski, for coming in. And we'll listen out for this podcast. Hopefully we'll go out within the next couple of days. Thank you for listening to Mega Talk. We're still the talk show in boxing.